Getting some more breaking news which is pertaining to the same story, and now Madhya Pradesh Home Minister Mr. Narottam Mishra has lauded the changes that have been recommended by the CBFC for the film Pathan, and he has said that producers, directors and artists, everyone should take care of this.
मामला मेरे सामने आया था तो मैंने कहा था कि दूषित मानसिकता से बहुसंख्यक वर्ग की भावनाओं को आहत करने का एक कुत्सित प्रयास है। रियल लाइफ पर भी असर डालती है। इस बात का निर्माताओं को, निर्देशकों को और कलाकारों को सभी को इन चीजों का ध्यान रखना चाहिए।
Vishal, we just played out that reaction by Narottam Mishra. Now, remember, he was the first person to have put out this objection in the public domain when the song, Besharam Rang, the first song of the film Pathan was out. It was released. And ever since, the controversy has not died down. However, what we have managed to access from the CBFC are cuts in the action sequences, some changes to the song, in this case that you're mentioning, 20-second cut on the song sequence. We still do not know which part. These advices have been done and the makers have been asked to return with the revised version of the advice changes. However, when we talk about the board comprises of about 12 to 25 members. Many of them are government appointed, but many of them are also luminaries from various other films and fields, films included, and also social sciences and others. Do we know if all the members of the CBFC had raised objections to these very things, these very points that are being put out in the public domain now?
I managed to speak to a few of my resources at CBFC, and they're saying, they're yet to see the film, and because the film will be releasing on Jan 25th, there's still time. So I think we have to wait when the official statement will come from the revising committee. What are the changes they have suggested? Like in the past, there have been times when with films like Urta Punjab, there were pointers which were marked by revising committee. What were the objectionable content they wanted to drop? So we have to wait. What are the scenes and the part of the song which revising committee have raised the objection for?
Absolutely. And Vishal, a very important point that you mentioned in the name of the film called Urta Punjab. Now, this was a big victory by the filmmakers, Phantom Films for that matter. When the case was with the Bombay High Court, the court in fact had dismissed the arguments by the CBFC, and it had clearly said that the CBFC should not be very, very oversensitive in matters of art. And they had in fact passed the film with minor cuts, despite the massive controversy. Have we not learned anything from what has happened in the past, and especially this entire debate of whether the CBFC, which is the Central Board of Film Certification, should be even allowed to act as a censor board as opposed to the job at hand that has been given to them, that of certifying films?
Like you mentioned, of course, their job is to certify the film and not to suggest cuts. And in that case, we don't know what the outcome would be, but generally makers resist to take a certificate because it's going to be a festival movie. So we don't know what suggestions, and that was a different censor board. And this one is headed by Prasoon Joshi, who's a poet and a very sensitive human being and an artist. So we have to wait and to see what the revising committee members have to say after watching the film, because we only have seen the trailer, so we don't know which action scenes they're talking about categorically here.
Okay. Also, Vishal, since you mentioned Prasoon Joshi heading the board, there are a lot of arguments after this particular report has come out with the CBFC suggesting cuts in the film Pathan. Many are talking about his own political lineage and that's why this sort of a decision. Do we know anything of that sort with the kind of advice changes that he has brought forth to the Pathan filmmakers?
No, but the impression we are getting after talking to our sources is that the idea is to maintain harmony by editing scenes down and take out the objectionable content. That's what our sources are saying. So we really have to wait and see maybe in a week's time what are the changes which have been suggested. And this is the first time where a song really have become a big talking point.
Okay. And also, Vishal, where we were talking about the board members and also the other members, other than those and also the revising committee, how much of an influence do people like, in this case, Mr. Narottam Mishra, would have on the CBFC? Because I was having a chat with him earlier in the day, and he said that we had a discussion with the board and our suggestions were in fact taken into consideration, and that's why what has come about, and we are glad that this happened. So do we sense a sort of influence on the board by people like Narottam Mishra?
No, I think it basically it depends on the revising committee member and the members of the CBFC board what they think after watching the film in totality. We can't judge a film by its just a trailer or what we've been shown. So I think it's the committee which will decide, and then it's left on the makers to decide. Do they want to appeal, or are they satisfied with the ratings given by censor board?
Okay, all right, Vishal, thank you so much for that. We also